every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Bryceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work. Whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value, at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579. We are live tonight at the north side of Jacksonville at Andrew Jackson High School, where Baldwin gets on the road to Andrew Jackson. Welcome, everybody. I am Dylan Denmark, joined alongside by Devin Runnels. Tonight is Andrew Jackson's senior night. Andrew Jackson comes to this game at 3-3. Their 3 wins came all from the beach. Wins over Providence, 46-13. Fletcher 16-9, and Fernandina Beach 48-0. The 3 losses opened the season. Lost to Westside 13-0. And then they lost to Rains and Riverside, more known as Lee, 31-14 and 42-6. As for Baldwin, they lost their first regular season game since 2019 last week. Baldwin lost to Episcopal on the final play of the game, 20-14, in a game that wasn't well executed offensively, but help from Baldwin's special teams helped keep Baldwin in the game, and their defense led by Coach Don Velvet. Baldwin's 3-1, and their stats from Episcopal last week. Jalen Hitchens was the starter and got most of the reps at quarterback. He went 8 for 15 with 97 yards for completion percentage of 53%. Running the ball, Vonnie Harvin got 8 carries with 58 yards. Jalen Hitchens had 10 carries for 19 yards. On the receiving end, DeBose got 1 catch for 46 yards. DeJuan Malpris got 4 catches for 31 yards. Grant King got 33 catches for 20 yards. And the 2 touchdowns came from Sam Brooks on a punt return that went 54 yards. And Ormel DeBose went 94 yards in a kickoff return for a touchdown. Baldwin defensively gave up 217 yards through the air and 150 on the ground and had 2 sacks. Episcopal pretty much dominated the stats. They had 71 plays to Baldwin's 44. Episcopal had 14 first downs to Baldwin's 8. Episcopal had 5 penalties for 55 yards. Baldwin had 7 penalties for 60. And Episcopal had 28 minutes to Baldwin's 19. As we are moments away from kickoff, the ROTC for Andrew Jackson is at the middle of the field. Teams are warming up, and it looks like we are about to stop and pause for the national anthem. But Devin, real quick, last week, Baldwin's been hit with the injury bug, and Hagan McQuaid, Baldwin's best lineman who plays offense and defense, didn't play, and you can definitely tell his presence was missed, but he comes back tonight as we'll stop now for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the nice matchup between Baldwin.
As we were saying before the national anthem, Hagan McQuaid wasn't able to play last week. He was throwing up and feeling sick. If you don't show up to school, obviously you can't play. He wasn't in playing condition anyway, but glad he's back this week. And Devin, you could definitely tell his presence was missed.
Yeah, he was the biggest piece that was missing last week for Baldwin. He's the best offensive lineman that we have. I kind of reminds me of like a high school version, like Quentin Nelson. Whenever he's not playing, you can definitely tell that the running backs aren't running as hard as aren't running through as big as holes as they usually are. Pass protection's a little bit quicker getting to the quarterback. And Hagan McQuaid, he's a big part of what Baldwin's done this season offensively, and I'm really glad he's back this week.
As Andrew Jackson's behind their end zone, the captains go onto the field. Number 58, Hagan McQuaid. Number 2 with the dreads, that's blocking his number on the back, Cortez Martinez. Number 4, DeJuan Malpris. And number 13, the senior quarterback, Ethan Krause are your 4 captains for Baldwin. Head coach for Andrew Jackson, Coach Foy. He graduated from Jackson in 1990. And Andrew Jackson made the playoffs for the first time since 2010 before Coach Foy took over at Andrew Jackson last year. He was assistant coach at Fletcher for 6 years and spent more than a decade at Landmark Middle in the 2000s. And their athletic director is Coach Kevin Sullivan. He spent most of his coaching days on the west side in the First Coast area, mainly making a name for himself for Andrew Jackson, as Andrew Jackson will receive the opening kickoff. Baldwin will kick off to start the game. But Kevin Sullivan coached in Jacksonville, coached total for head coach for 27 years, 37 total coaching. Led Jackson to a 93-33 record for in 11 seasons. And then when Atlantic Coast started their school in 2010, he coached over there for a couple of years before going to Ed White and calling it a career for the coaching. And he's now the athletic director at Andrew Jackson. He finished 7th in total wins. Number 1, obviously, Corky Rogers. But Coach Kevin Sullivan finished his career with 191 wins and 103 losses. As both teams are in their end zone, about to run out to the banner. And Devin, it rained all day today. Or excuse me, it was supposed to rain all day today. It rained for a little bit. I didn't know if we were going to be able to run our entire ESPN production. But we're here. It's beautiful weather. It's cloudy now. It's been a little bit muggy in and out, but perfect weather for football tonight. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that help us put this together. Cousin Willie Smokehouse in Baldwin, Florida. Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, Florida. Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters, Papa John's Pizza, Mr. Chubby's Wings, and our FBI agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, BJ Ruiz. Baldwin's in the white jerseys, black bottoms. Andrew Jackson is in the red jerseys and black bottoms tonight for their senior night. Andrew Jackson's 3-3. Baldwin is 3-1. As if both teams are in 4A, and if the playoffs were to start today, the two teams would play right now. We'll get to that at halftime and the new RPI rankings. Aiden O'Neill in his neon cleats will be kicking it off for Baldwin, going left to right from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. Devin Runnels will be calling color and running our camera tonight. As always, your boy Dylan Denmark will be calling the play-by-play.
Let's get this ball rolling.
And O'Neill puts toe to leather, and we're underway. Ball's caught at the 10-yard line, runs right through the middle of the field, finds a little crease, has some open field, and he's tackled at the middle of the field by Aiden Skidmore, number 24. And Andrew Jackson has great field position to start the game at their own 45-yard line. Temperatures in the upper 70s. Right at the first snap. Quarterback for Andrew Jackson is going to be number 11, Jalen Sonier. Gaines is your running back in the backfield. Baldwin comes down to 5-man front. Sonier drops back. Throws off his back foot, incomplete at midfield. It was a 1st and 10 and bring up 2nd and 10. Not a whole lot working there for Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, it looked like the defensive line for Baldwin got there pretty fast on the quarterback. He was able to he tried to make a throw a little too early than he needed to. Good pressure by Baldwin on the first play.
2nd and 10 for Jackson. The give to the running back, Gaines. He finds the corner, and he's popped by Sam Brooks out of midfield at the 50-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 5. Boy, Sam Brooks made that play stop in a hurry.
Yeah, luckily he was there and made the play. He stopped them, about 5 yards short of the first down. And DeJuan Malpris was the defensive end on that side. He was supposed to keep containing the running back, and he kind of bit in a little bit too far.
3rd and 5. Finds a hole, gets past the first down marker, past the 40-yard line, tackled by DeJuan Malpris at the 36-yard line. That was Gaines on the carry, and he's got some nice yard. He leads Andrew Jackson with 448 yards coming into this game with an average of 6 yards a carry.
It's not a good start for Baldwin's defense. They've let up a lot of rushing yards the past couple weeks.
Scoreboard's not working, so I can't give you the time, but the game just started. Andrew Jackson got the ball first. Another give to the left side, and Octavius Barnes wraps up Jackson in the backfield. Excellent tackle from Octavius Barnes. The up middle linebacker shot the gap, and Andrew Jackson loses 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
That was a great job by Barnes. He saw that there was a gap open up, and when you're middle linebacker, if you see a gap, you go and fill it, and that's exactly what he did.
Let's make it 2nd and 13. I'll say about 9 minutes left in the first quarter. The scoreboard's not working if you're just joining us in the first quarter. Quads to the right. It's a bubble screen. Right side is blown up in the backfield. Cortez Martinez, the nickel, got in the backfield. And Andrew Jackson, after going about 20 yards, has went back in a hurry, and it's about almost 3rd and 20 for Jackson's offense.
You could hear Donald Velva, the defensive coordinator, yelling, "Bubble, bubble," right before that play was snapped, and he called it perfectly, and Cortez Martinez did a nice job blowing it up.
Third and 20. Sony. 3-step drop. Penalty thrown. Finds some room. He slides. He'll be about 6 yards short. And it is a holding. So erase all the yardage gained by Saunier, the Jackson quarterback. And Coach Shields waves his arm back. So it'll be 3rd and almost 30 for Jackson's offense.
It was like as soon as the play was snapped, the flag was thrown, and 9 times out of 10, you know what that is. It's going to be a holding call almost every single time.
Saunier for Jackson has completed 64% of his balls. He's thrown for 712 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions coming into this game after beating Fernandina Beach last week 48-0. Jackson needs to get to the 26-yard line in Baldwin territory. Saunier drops back, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take off and run with it, and Buggus will push him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It'll bring up about 4th and 14 for Jackson. So after Andrew Jackson gets about 20 yards, they move back after a couple of penalties and a sack. A loss of yards on a swing pass from Cortez Martinez. And Jackson will come on with a punt team.
Baldwin got lucky that there was a holding call the call before that because the quarterback got a good bit of yardage there. But luckily it was like 3rd and a mile. So
Sam Brooks will return the punt. Looks like Baldwin's defense is running safe. As there's approximately about 7 to 8 minutes left in the first quarter as the scoreboard's not working. At least the time is not, but the score is. Baldwin comes with a block. They don't get to it. It goes straight to Sam Brooks at the 10-yard line. Makes the first man miss. Finds a crease, and he is lit up at the 30-yard line. I think that was number 10 for Andrew Jackson, Grayson Howard. And if it is, he's Andrew Jackson's leading tackler. I thought he was going to go to the crib on that one. It came to a stop in a hurry.
Yeah, after both special teams units scored touchdowns last week, I thought it was about to happen again. I already had the camera ready to pan to the other end zone, but that was a really good hit that the defender laid, and Baldwin's offense is coming onto the field.
So Jalen Hitchens will get the start for Baldwin with Vonnie Harvin in the backfield. Cortez Martinez will be your tight end to the right side. 1st and 10. The give to Harvin. Finds a crease. He gets past the 35. Gets to midfield. Pushed out of bounds. By number 19, Willie Williams for Jackson. And Baldwin is quickly in Jackson territory.
That's probably as good as a run as Baldwin had all last week. And coming out the gates hot. We'll see if Baldwin will keep running or what they're going to do.
Almost halfway through the first quarter, rather. Hitchens. Lofts one to Miller. Right side. And it is. Did he catch it? He did, right on his right shoulder. On top of the defensive back. My goodness. He caught that ball on top of the DB, on top of his left shoulder, and Baldwin is in business. It looks like they're going to go hurry up, no huddle. I think the ball is at the 11-yard line. Hitchens, 1st and 10. The give to Harvin, jump step. Behind the left guard, maybe gotten a yard. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, that was. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. But what a play by Jihad Miller. As ball goes trips to the left. Tez, the tight end, Vonnie in motion. Quarterback keeper with Hitchens. And he's not able to get much as Baldwin finally takes a break, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 coming up for Baldwin.
I'm still in awe by the catch from Jihad Miller. He wasn't open, but he somehow still caught it, and Baldwin running a couple plays trying to get into the end zone, but leaving it third down and long and at about the 10 or 9 yard line. So we'll see what the offensive coordinator, Gus Scott, does.
It almost reminds me of the David Tyree. He never used his hands. He kind of just stuck it to something. The New York Giants, they beat the Patriots back in 2007. As we're almost halfway through the first quarter, the time isn't working on the scoreboard. That's why I'm giving you an approximate. No score yet between Jackson and Baldwin. Hitchens for Baldwin. Throws a fade. Malpris, right side, and it's incomplete. Double covered in the corner of the end zone. And it'll be 4th and 8 at the 9 yard line.
Whenever you throw a fade pass, you want to throw it up high, but I think he threw it a little bit too high up in the air and, let the defender get in a good spot. And it looks like Baldwin sending out their kicking unit, Aiden O'Neill.
It'll be about a 25-yard field goal. Ellsbury will be a long snapper. Hitchens, the quarterback, is the holder, and O'Neill will be the kicker. And I think it's a water timeout, so that should be right around 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, the scoreboard's not working, so I'm going to have to give you an approximate time. So bear with us. As a scoreboard, I don't know what was going on, but it was showing 88s the entire time, and it was like your alarm clock going off in the morning, just going on and on and on. I guess they teetered with it all pregame, and they couldn't fix it. So halfway through the first quarter, still no score between Baldwin and Jackson. And Aiden O'Neill will kick. O'Neill puts it up, has plenty of leg to it, and it's good. Baldwin takes the early lead over Andrew Jackson. 3-0. Let's pause 30 seconds with a word from BJ Ruiz.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Baldwin leads Andrew Jackson 3-0 after the Aiden O'Neill field goal, as we're right around halfway through the first quarter. O'Neill will pooch it, onside kick. It's Baldwin's ball. Octavius Barnes picks it up. And that's exactly what Coach Shields was keying on all week. In the film, Andrew Jackson's front line kept moving back before the ball was kicked. I didn't see if they did it on that time, but it was an absolute perfect kick from Aiden O'Neill. So after he gives Baldwin 3 points, he gives Baldwin the ball right back, and they're in excellent field position.
When I say that was the most perfect onside kick that I've seen in a long time. Like, as soon as he got to that 10-yard mark where Baldwin can recover it, it did a nice little bunny hop, and it went over everyone for Andrew Jackson. And there was a few Baldwin Indians who collided with Andrew Jackson, and Baldwin ended up with the ball. Offense is back out onto the field.
So it'll be the both in the backfield, trips left. With Vonnie at the wing. Hitchens pumps, wants it all again. Right side to Hod Miller again, and it's incomplete. This time it was thrown just a little bit. The same play that Baldwin completed on the first drive. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It kind of looked like the same defense, too, that Andrew Jackson was running. The defender was in perfect position, just like the last play, but Jahad Miller wasn't able to come down with it.
Hitchens for Baldwin, 2nd and 10. He gives to Harvin up the gut. Gets a couple of yards. And it'll be 3rd and 6, about 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Baldwin got a good bit of yards there on 2nd down, leaves about a 2nd down and 5. And this is where you can kind of try, where you can run it or you can pass it. So we'll see what the offensive coordinator does.
Baldwin's in the white jerseys. Andrew Jackson's in the red. It'll be 3rd and 5 About 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Baldwin got a field goal and recovered the onside kick if you're just joining us. Quarterback keeper with Hitchens. He gets a few yards. He'll be shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and 2 or 3. And I would think Gus Scott's going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, this is kind of like no man's land where it's way too short of a punt, but way too long of a field goal, especially for high school. So you keep your offense out there and see what he calls.
Defense.
4th and 3 for Baldwin. Now pressing DW to the left. Harvin up the gut. And he doesn't get the yards he needs. He might have gotten a yard if he's lucky, but the offensive line didn't get any movement up front. Turnover on downs, and Andrew Jackson will take over at around their own 35-yard line.
Baldwin got absolutely no penetration there from the offensive line. The defensive line from Andrew Jackson pushed Baldwin backwards and was able to stop him for a gain of nothing, and Andrew Jackson gets the all-right field position.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, Jackson got the ball first, was forced to punt. Baldwin went right down the field on a big play from Jahad Miller. That got Baldwin inside the 10, forcing Baldwin to kick a field goal after Baldwin got a few yards inside the 10-yard line. Ensuing kickoff, Baldwin recovered the onside kick, and then they went a couple plays and turned it over on downs right there. And we're almost toward the end of the first quarter as Saunier comes on the field. Quarterback keeper, tackled by Malpress, and he's popped by Malcolm Harvin and Sam Brooks. And as I say, we're toward the end of the first quarter. I'd say there's about 2-3 minutes left because, well, the scoreboard wasn't working to start the game, and it was sounding like an alarm clock just going off on and on and on. So I'll give you an approximate. But Baldwin leads 3-0. Empty backfield for Saunier. 2nd and 4. Saunier, curl route. Sam Brooks on the cover, tackled by Malcolm Harvin. It was number 12 for Jackson. Caleb Francis, the senior. Andrew Jackson celebrating their senior night tonight. And it's a Jackson first down.
It was a nice play call by Andrew Jackson. He saw Baldwin defenders were playing awful lot, so just did a simple curl route for a first down.
And Baldwin jumps off sides. Joshua Barrington and DeJuan Malpress on the right side of that defense. Like Octavius Barnes was coming in on the blitz, the Mike backer. So Barrington comes out. Ellsbury comes in. As there's about 2 to 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Jackson in Baldwin territory. First and 5. Saunier. Screen pass. Right side. It's caught. Turns upfield. And he gets to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Jackson. Thing was Gaines, the running back, playing slot on the right side. Got the catch. It'll be 1st and 10 for Jackson.
I'm not sure what happened to the cornerbacks on the far side for Baldwin, but it seemed like as soon as he caught the bubble, there was just green grass in front of him.
Baldwin comes in on the blitz. Saunier goes right by him and gets a couple yards. Tackled by the defensive end on the far side, Eric Buggist. As there can be no more than 2 minutes left in the first quarter. 2nd and 6 for this Jackson offense.
The past couple of games, Baldwin's done a really nice job with blitzing, especially the linebackers. They've always timed it up well. I'm surprised that's the first time we've blitzed so far this game.
Empty backfield for Saunier for Jackson. And it's a false start. So after Jackson gets 4, they back up 5 to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be 2nd and 11. As we have beautiful weather, you can see the sun trying to peek behind the home stands. Jackson's in the red uniforms, red tops rather. Baldwin's in the white tops. Both teams in 4A right now. They are in the playoffs. Baldwin's a 3 seed. Jackson is the 6 seed on the 2nd and 11. Quarterback keeper with Sonier right side. Ball's loose, and it is. Baldwin says they have it, and they do. I think it was Octavius Barnes who recovered the fumble for Baldwin. And Devin, Baldwin's defense has recovered 8 fumbles through their first 4 games. I didn't see who stripped it on the far side, but that ball came free. You can see the quarterback's arms went like spaghetti arms, went straight up in the air. Someone forced it out, and Baldwin takes over at their own 26-yard line.
That's a great break for Baldwin. Andrew Jackson's honestly moved the ball really well their first couple drives, but Baldwin's got fortunate turnovers.
So Baldwin leads 3-0. Ethan Krause will check in for the first time on Baldwin's third drive. Baldwin has the matchup. They won with 3 receivers to 2 TBs on this right side. 1st and 10. Krause drops it, and he just falls on it. Looks like he picked his head up before the ball got to him. And Baldwin loses, looks like 5 yards. 2nd and 15 coming up for Baldwin's offense.
That's definitely not what you want from Baldwin. First play in at quarterback, you muff the ball and you instantly take a loss of 5.
Second down.
Second and 15. About a minute left in the first quarter, and Krause is lit up in the backfield. Garrett, number 16, and Howard, number 10. Jackson's 2 leading tacklers in on the tackle, and it's 3rd and long. Make it 3rd and about 18 for Baldwin.
I'm real surprised with that play call. We haven't seen Ethan Krause really run the ball at all besides scrambling around whenever he's trying to throw. Usually they put Jalen Hitchens in whenever they want to do some quarterback-designed runs.
Can be much time left in the first quarter as the scoreboard's not working. Can be right around a minute. Got to be on this 3rd and long for Baldwin. Krause, 5-receiver set. Drops back. Lofts one over the middle. It sails on Miller. Incomplete. And Baldwin will have to punt from their own 20.
Ethan Krause, as soon as he got the ball, there was a defender in his face. So he pretty much just threw a ball where he thought a wide receiver was and just overshot him. Fortunate it wasn't intercepted, but Baldwin's punting unit's coming out onto the field.
Merritt and Caleb Francis back to receive the punt.
Toward the end of the first quarter, Baldwin punts on a 4th and long. DeBose boots it away, and Jackson takes over at the 46 of Baldwin. Their best field position yet after Jackson fumbled on their last drive, and Baldwin has been the only team to score so far. Baldwin 3, Andrew Jackson nothing.
Let's go, Baldwin! Tigers gain possession. Indians 45-yard line first down.
I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you.
Backfield.
1st and 10 for Jackson. Run up the middle, finds a crease. Gets past the first down, gets about 20 yards, tackled by Armel DeBose, the free safety. That was a big pickup and a huge hole through Baldwin's defense.
That's what's been happening in the past few games for Baldwin's defense. Seems like their running game is just the defensive line is not getting any penetration. They're allowing gaps Linebackers aren't really feeling all that well. End up, just letting up a lot of rushing yards, which sets up the passing.
As that will be the end of the first quarter, Baldwin leads Andrew Jackson 3-0. Scoreboard's not working, so I can't give you guys the exact time. But if you're just joining us, Jackson got the ball first. First was forced to punt. Baldwin went right down the field on their first drive with a big gain from Jahad Miller. It resulted in an Aiden O'Neill field goal. And then Andrew Jackson, after the field goal, Aiden O'Neill had a perfect onside kick. Baldwin recovered. They turned it over on downs. And then Jackson fumbled. Baldwin goes 3 and out, and Jackson is in the middle of their drive right now after taking over from midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 for Jackson at the 25-yard line. Saunier in the gun. Was running back Jackson in the backfield. He gives to Jackson. And Octavius Barn in on the tackle. Gets about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Jackson.
Baldwin was kind of able to stop it right there, but they still got a gain of 5. We'll see what the defensive coordinator for Baldwin does to, try to stop the run.
2nd and 6. Gaines now in the backfield. 3 receivers set with the tight end left. Gaines goes behind his left guard, and he's tackled from behind. From the transfer, playing his first game tonight, McCray, number 25. He was eligible today, which is a huge asset for Baldwin tonight. The defensive end, Eric Buggus last week, who usually plays defensive end, had to go to 3-tech with Hagan McQuaid out. And Baldwin gets Hagan McQuaid back tonight, so Hagan McQuaid can settle in on that interior defensive line. As Baldwin's defense, again, for the second time tonight, jumps off sides, and it'll be an automatic first down for Jackson. But McCray, who possibly could have been eligible last week, wasn't cleared yet.
Jackson first down.
And he's already getting some early playing time tonight at defensive end, standing on that right side. As we just started the second quarter, Baldwin leads 3-0. Saunier for Jackson. Fade left side, off his hands, incomplete. Looks like it was Sam Brooks in coverage. That was Donald Velvet with Caleb Francis on the receiving end. Went right off his hands at the goal line. And the clock will stop with about 9 minutes left in the second quarter for Andrew Jackson.
It was a well-designed play by Andrew Jackson, and the receiver was open. He just kind of bobbled it and allowed Donald Velvet, the cornerback, to break it up.
Five-man front. Gaines behind the right guard, finds a little crease, slithers through the defense, and powers into the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown. Andrew Jackson. Gaines just churns his legs, gets a little bit of help from his offensive line, and for the first time, Jackson leads 6-3.
It was kind of like the same exact play that ended the game last week. Andrew Jackson had the ball, and initially he was stopped, but then slowly scored a touchdown.
Jackson goes for 2, and they get in. It is now 8-3 Andrew Jackson.
Your second quarter score, Tigers 8, Indians 3.
So we just started the second quarter. Not sure exactly how much time is left. The scoreboard's not working if you're just joining us. Jackson tries the onside kick, and it goes out of bounds at exactly 8 yards. And Jackson goes 50 yards after Baldwin goes 3 and out. The only big play from Baldwin so far offensively has been the Jahad Miller catch that went about 40 yards. That got Baldwin inside the 10. As we'd like to thank all the sponsors to help us put this together. Burkins Chevrolet, Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, Papa Sean's Pizza, Mr. Chubby's Wings, Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, Florida, our Farm Bureau Insurance Agent BJ Ruiz, Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters, and Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. First and 10 for Baldwin as we near halfway through the second quarter. First and 10 at Jackson's 48. Hitchens keeps it. Runs right beside his left tackle and picks up 3. As King Grant will check in, number 20. For number 29, Walmart. Second and 7. Ball's out the middle. Hitchens. This give Devani, no, he fakes it. He pulls it. Caught by Malpris. Has some room. Down the sideline. Gets the first down. Past the 30 and tackled at the 27-yard line. Boy, that was almost scary. But when you got tall receivers like that, you can do those things.
That was a really dangerous throw, and the defender went for the interception, but Malpris was just able to get up on him.
Almost halfway through the second quarter, Jackson leads Baldwin 8-3. Baldwin's ball, first and 10. Hitchens, Devani, behind his right guard, gets a few yards, tackled by 4 red jerseys. Second and 8. DeBose lined up to the left. Grant King and Jahad Miller with DeJuan Malpris to the right side. Vonnie's your tailback. Linebacker could be blitzing. He doesn't. Hitchens follows his lineman, Anthony Dixon. Turns upfield right at the first down marker. Looks like he should have got the first down. That was a great play call by Coach Scott, as Anthony Dixon was their leading pulling guard. And Baldwin has some momentum.
It was a great play call and great execution by the Baldwin offensive line. And just like you said, momentum. That's what Baldwin needs.
First and 10. One safety over top. Hitchens gives to Vonnie. Gets a little crease, falls forward, gets to possibly 3 yards. And looks like Sam Brooks will come in for LaVarn Harvin as we are approaching halfway through the second quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, the scoreboard's not working for time, only for score. So that's why I have to give an approximate. I don't know when it's halfway after the water timeout. DeBose this time in the backfield. DeBose tries to get it left side and just nothing working that time. As it looked like the play was designed right, but it went left and it was tackled by Garrett for Jackson.
Yeah, the running back, he tried to, he saw that there was nothing on the right side, so he tried to break to the other way, but there was also nothing on the other side. So he got a tackle for loss, and Baldwin was trying to get some momentum, and that's not what you want.
So if you can see the scoreboard going in and out like that, that's what it was doing all pregame, and that's not been fixed. It's 2nd and 8, caught by the receiver, DeJuan Malpris. He went up and climbed the ladder. That was a grown man catch. He needed 8 yards to get the first down and got 10, 11 yards. And it's 1st and goal, Baldwin.
Caught it on top of his head. There's nothing you could do as a defender.
First and goal for Baldwin. Trying to get back in the lead, trailing 8-3. DeBose in motion. Man-to-man defense. Hitchens finds a crease. Tries to get toward the goal line. He looks like he's tackled at the 3-yard line. And looked like nothing there. Smart play. Found some yards, and Baldwin's trying to go hurry up. DeBose comes out. Vonnie comes in. 2nd and goal. Harvin runs to a wall. Howard, the linebacker, does an excellent job of plugging it. And I think Vonnie got back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and goal at the 3.
This Jackson defensive line's doing a great job of bending but not breaking. They allowed a few plays to get Baldwin into the situation that they are, but they're not breaking. They're doing everything that they can to not let Baldwin into the end zone.
So it's 3rd and goal, and Baldwin will call timeout. I think there's about 6-7 minutes left in the second quarter. If you can see, scoreboard is no bueno tonight. So I just have to give you an approximate guess. I don't know, what would you say, Devin? Probably about 6-7 minutes left, second quarter, roughly, kind of, sort of.
I would guess about 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
All right, so that whatever you want to guess at home, guess the average. I say 6-7. Devin says 5. I hear a 4, maybe a 3. I don't know. But we're here. We're in the building. We're playing football Friday night. I was expected to pour down rain. I wasn't expected to have the camera here tonight, but we're here. Temperature's beautiful right now in the mid-70s as it's cloudy. And Andrew Jackson leads Baldwin 8-3. Baldwin's trying to get back in the lead. As we thank you guys for watching us tonight. If you can share this with your family and friends, and the ones that aren't able to make it, share this link on YouTube with your friends as it's 3rd and goal. DeBose in motion. Throws a slant. It is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jahad Miller. Jackson haven't been running man-to-man coverage, but whatever happened with the DB, he had to have let Jahad Miller get inside because he was wide open on a slant route on the right side. And Baldwin takes a 9-8 lead over Jackson.
Yeah, Miller had about a 2-step gap on the cornerback who was playing man-to-man on him. And it was a beautifully thrown ball by Hitchens. A little bit behind him, the defender might have been able to have a chance to bat it away, but he threw it out in front of him, and beautiful catch, touchdown.
And the field goal is no good, so it will be Baldwin 9, Andrew Jackson 8. About halfway, probably a little less than halfway through the second quarter. Both teams tonight are in 4A. Baldwin right now is a 3 seed. Jackson is a 6 seed. So if the playoffs were to end or start rather right now, the two teams would play each other, and Baldwin really needs to host at least that first game as the 2 seed is 3 hours away from Baldwin, and the 4 seed is about 4 hours away from Baldwin. So you talk about a little hike down the road, heading west on I-10. That's what Baldwin will have to do if they are a 5 or 6 seed. So playing home field will be huge for the Baldwin Indians. Even though they lost to Episcopal last week, it didn't change their RPI rankings, as I'll give a full breakdown at our Mr. Chubby's halftime report. Make sure you go there to watch all the games throughout the weekend at their 3 locations. After the Jahad Miller touchdown, O'Neal boots it away. And Jackson gets it out to the 30-yard line. About 4 or 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, scoreboard not working, so I'll give you an approximate guess on how much time is left. But I know Baldwin leads Andrew Jackson 9-8. Baldwin got a field goal and a touchdown. Extra point was no good. And Andrew Jackson got a touchdown with a 2-point conversion. The touchdown was from Jahad Miller on a 3-yard slant. on a 3rd and goal. And it looks like this is a water timeout. So water timeout usually means halfway through the second quarter. So 5-6 minutes left. There's no set exact time. But we'll try to do our best to do what we can. I thank all the sponsors to help us put this together. You can see Burkins Chevrolet at the top right and Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. You can contact Josh Wirtz at 904-353-5564. Call or text him today for a free estimate and get your gutters through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Looks like Baldwin's linebackers crowd the line of scrimmage, and boy, they were in a hurry. No holes open from that Jackson offensive line, and it's a 1-yard loss.
It's a great job by the Baldwin defense. Andrew Jackson's really been able to do whatever they want to him. And I hope that Baldwin is going to start blitzing the linebackers a lot more because they've been doing that really well, which is what they did on that last play and was able to get a gain of nothing. So
it's 2nd and 11. The front defensive for Baldwin is going to be McCray left, Barrington, Buggist, and Mason Carter on the right side. Cortez crowds line out, drops back, and ball is thrown into no man's land. As the receiver looked like ran to go, was expecting a comeback. Jackson's shown that a couple of times in their previous games, and it brings up 2nd and 10. But Jackson is definitely a team that's been battle tested. They've played Rains, they've played Riverside a couple weeks ago, and it was a game that was really close until the wheels fell off for Jackson. It was about a 1-possession game before Riverside went on to win 42-6 as it's 2nd and 10 for Jackson. So on the air, off his back foot, incomplete. Velvet on the coverage. And it doesn't look like Jackson's able to do much on offense.
Baldwin's playing great defense. They blitzed again and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and made him throw a low ball and leaves it 4th down and long. Actually, it's 4th down and 10. Looks like Andrew Jackson sending the punting unit out.
So Barrington comes out. Grant King comes in. Sam Brooks, who returned a touchdown on a punt return, will be back to receive the punt. On this 4th and 10 from Jackson's 31-yard line. Jackson is in the red tops. Baldwin's in the white tops. Baldwin comes. They don't get the block. Sam Brooks runs toward the sideline, and that's where the ball goes. And it'll be Baldwin ball at around their own 40-yard line. Guys, let me tell you about the dude that coached us and now does insurance. BJ Ruiz with the FBI at Farm Bureau Insurance. If you need homeowners insurance, car insurance, life insurance, I don't know what you need. Just make sure you go text and hit up BJ Ruiz right here at 904-655-4347. Office located in Mandarin, or you can email them right there at bj.ruiz@ffbic.com. So Baldwin takes over with relative good field position with a 9-8 lead. Jahad Miller with the only touchdown on that last drive. Handoff to DeBose. Can't get much. Jackson does an excellent job of setting the edge. It was Seth Brooks, the defensive end for Jackson. About 3-4 minutes left in the second quarter. If you're just joining us again, sorry, I sound like a broken record, but the scoreboard's not working, so I'll give you a guess. As the water timeout that's halfway through the second quarter wasn't that long ago. Hitchens in the game, in the shotgun. Hitchens throws a slant. Caught by Malpress. Takes a huge hit from the corner. Well, it wasn't a huge hit. But a nice lick from Francis, the defensive back, on his senior night for Jackson. And Baldwin gets back to the original line of scrimmage at 3rd and 8.
That was a great catch by Malpress. You know, that was a perfect tackle that he got hit with, and he was able to hold on to the ball.
DeBose in motion, 3rd and 7. Faces pressure. Dumps it off to DeBose. Down the sideline, almost made something happen, something out of nothing. It was pushed out by the DB again, Francis, and it'll be 4th and 7. Coach Shields yells punt, and Baldwin will have its second 3 and out of its first half.
Stand by that defense.
As Octavius Barnes runs onto the field. Man was sleeping on the sideline or under the defensive tent. As for the first half, you're just joining us. Baldwin on the first drive went right down the field, kicked the field goal, went up 3-0, and Andrew Jackson answered with a touchdown and the 2-point conversion, making it 8-3. I think it was Gaines, the running back. It was Gaines or Jackson that carried the pile into the end zone on a 5 to 8 yard run. And then Jahad Miller on a 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line gets the touchdown. Aiden O'Neal misses the extra point. It's 9-8 late in the second quarter. The scoreboard's not working, so I can't give you the exact time, but I know there's about 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes left, roughly in that range in the second quarter with Baldwin's ball. Punt team on the field on this 4th and 7. Two-men return for Jackson as DeBose takes a step and boots it away. Oh, it's Coach Delvich jumping up and down. He knows if King would have let the ball go, it might have touched the Jackson defender who was down and would have been an oops from Jackson, but he touched it, makes the ball dead, and Jackson will take over at their own 30.
That was almost a real close call. There was a Jackson person, like you said, just laying on the ground. Ball was about to bounce right to him, and then an Indian was able to get it. Yeah, like you said, a big oopsie.
So Jackson takes over at their own 29, and the chain gang needs to fix as they're set up going the other way. Quads left, 5-man front for Baldwin. Jackson tried to get Baldwin on the hard count. They don't jump this time, and it'll be a delay of game.
I mean, nice job by Baldwin. I mean, already getting Andrew Jackson behind the sticks. Jackson's pretty much been able to do whatever they want all day besides that last drive where Baldwin was able to force them to punt.
Yeah, something that killed Baldwin last week was the penalties. It wasn't the penalties, but it was the penalties when they had them. They were costly, mostly on 3rd down in the second half when it was a close game and tied against Episcopal. There's only been, I think, back-to-back offsides for Baldwin on one drive, but other than that, not many penalties. That's Saunier for Jackson. Throws to the right side. It's incomplete. Takes a lick from Malcolm Harvin, the linebacker. Francis on the receiving end. And I think it'll be 2nd and 15, about 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
Malcolm Harvin was about 2 steps away from being able to be really close to that ball. Quarterback threw it right at the right time.
2nd and 15 for Jackson. Baldwin in the nickel defense. Saunier steps back, and he's wrapped up, but escapes. Bug is sacked, and he gets back to the original back to the line of scrimmage, pushed out by the Trinity transfer McCray. Well, I don't know how he got out of that tackle, but Bugus, looked like he just slipped out of it, and it should be 3rd and 14. And there's a penalty thrown. Wasn't able to see, but the white hat waved it on Jackson.
I have no idea what it could be. Possibly a holding by a receiver.
That'd be the only thing I could guess.
I mean, he didn't throw it, so it couldn't have been a legal man downfield. Yeah, I'm not sure, but good news for Baldwin.
So Jackson moves back after probably the holding penalty, and Jackson's almost now in their own end zone. They have to get to the 38 to get a first down, and they're backed up to about the 14. Saunier faces pressure, and he goes down in the backfield. Ellsbury in on the tackle with another defensive lineman. Looks like it was McCray, the defensive end, and Baldwin calls a timeout to stop the clock. Late in the second quarter, there's probably about a minute or two left. As I don't know how much time is on the clock exactly. You can see the scoreboard's not working, so but Baldwin leads 9-8. Let's see if they can get some points before the half ends.
That's a huge sack because the farther back the Andrew Jackson offense goes back, Baldwin's eventually going to have better field position whenever they get the ball back, and being able to drive down the field to get the ball, and Baldwin gets the ball first coming out of the second half. So if they're able to score before halftime and then be able to get the ball again, it's going to be a huge momentum shift.
Yeah, and the way this game is going, it's going by pretty quick because they're keeping time on the field, and usually I don't know this for it to be a fact, but I think the refs usually go by a little quicker when they're in control instead of a man in the box. This game started like right after 6:30, and it's almost 7:30, and we're about wrapped up with the first half. As Baldwin leads Jackson 9-8, Jahad Miller with the only touchdown for Baldwin. 3rd and I'd say 1.5 miles for Jackson. They need to get to the 38 to get a first down. Saunier, quick pass. Ball is dropped on the bubble. Ball went forward, so it'll be incomplete. And Jackson will be forced to punt from their own end zone as they trail Baldwin 9-8.
Usually in high school, whenever, from the long snapper to the punter, there's usually about 10 to 12 yards. And Andrew Jackson's at the 5-yard line, so they're going to be darn near at the back of their own end zone. Punters' heels are going to be on the back of the goal line, and it's a perfect time for Baldwin to do an all-out blitz and try to block it.
Well, Devin, let's see if they do it. Looks like they have about 9 men crowding on top of the line. Now 10. Sam Brooks to return it. Ball's not blocked. It's a nice punt. Ball's hops. Excellent punt. Brooks gets it from his own 45. Tries to make a man dance and falls at his own 40. So essentially about a 50-yard punt. Sam Brooks tried to hit him with a Texas two-step. And Ball will have the ball probably with about a little over a minute left in the half with a 1-point lead. And Baldwin does get the ball to start the second half. As this is a huge matchup in 4A. No, the win-loss doesn't matter in the district, but points do matter. But Baldwin's a 3 seed and Andrew Jackson is 6 seed right now in 4A.
Not on a completely different subject for what you was talking about. I just saw the ref tell Coach Shields there's a minute 42 seconds left in the half.
So there you go. There's a minute 42 if you're keeping track at home. Jet sweep. Grant King tries to get to the corner. Does. He gets out of bounds. And it'll be a 15-yard penalty. He got 6, so at 15, it'll be about a nice 23-yard pickup, and Baldwin should have the ball around the 40-yard line in Jackson territory.
A feel like if this was the Baldwin team a year or 2 years ago, if someone would have hit someone late like that, then everyone would have been, getting on the defender, possibly would have had a flag thrown on them to be able to cancel each other out. But this Baldwin team, they're so smart with their penalties. They're not doing as many dumb mistakes as they did last year.
So the White Hat moves the ball up 15. It'll be Baldwin ball at the Jackson 39. Hitchens with Harvin in the backfield. 4-man front. Hitchens curl. Incomplete, overthrows Malpress as the ball rolls all the way to the track. Probably about a minute 20. 2 plays, clock fouls. Baldwin got the ball to start with about a minute 42. Minute 20-ish. How about that? It'll be 2nd and 10 for Baldwin. Hitchens the quarterback. 5 DBs on the field for Jackson. Hitchens, 3-step drop. Steps up, faces pressure, and goes down. That's number 51 for Jackson. Porterreal. Looks like Baldwin's left tackle is coming to the sideline, hobbling a little bit. Rodley Jean. And Baldwin's offensive line, that's already thin, gets a little thinner as he goes to the sideline.
I'm not sure how they're going to shuffle around the offensive line. Usually centers and guards are pretty interchangeable, but tackles, they're hard to replace. Looks like Hagan McCoy. Oh, timeout. Never mind.
And right now, Joshua Barrington is getting assisted from the trainer for Baldwin, Mr. Raps, as I don't know. I didn't see him come off the field with an injury, but he's another tackle. So that's 2 of your left tackles, Jean and Barrington. And last week that cost Baldwin a lot. The interior, Anthony Dixon and Hagan McQuaid, are a pivotal in Baldwin's offensive line with the run game and what they want to do offensively. And McQuaid wasn't able to play last week, being sick. But right now, Baldwin's trying to put the ball in the end zone with just over a minute left in the first half on his 3rd and 15. Miller with the only touchdown on a 3-yard slant. Baldwin got a field goal in their first drive from Aiden O'Neill. Got the touchdown from Miller, and the extra point was no bueno. And Baldwin has moved Hagan McQuaid to left tackle, so the utility offensive lineman will check in a left tackle. Huntley. And Huntley, the right tackle, looks like he's going to have to come off. I don't know.
I think he lost his mouthpiece, and I think he took someone else's.
Man, when it rains, it pours. My goodness. 3rd and 15. Back to the action. Hitchens. Screen pass. DeBose, he's popped for a 2-yard loss. That was Gaines, the running back who plays both ways for Jackson. So Baldwin will punt with about a minute left in the half with a 1-point lead.
I mean, there's really so much that you can do for Baldwin. You don't really have a lot of play calls to get you in 3rd and 15. So we tried to do a screen to get some yardage back, but we didn't get anything. We actually went backwards, and hopefully we have a good punt to pin Andrew Jackson deep so they can't score again before halftime.
And the clock will stop. Jackson timeout. Right around a minute left until halftime. Another good week for Baldwin football. Middle school team stays undefeated after beating Westside Middle School. I forget exactly what the final score was, but it was a running clock almost in the first half, and Baldwin won big only giving up 1 touchdown again. We haven't got a shutout yet. I say we because I'm one of the coaches. But Baldwin's middle school team's playing really well, and JV took one in the chin last night against Ed White, losing that game 32-0, I believe the final score was. But varsity leads Jackson right now 9-8, and DeBose gets the snap on the punt. Boots a nice one. Caught in the middle. From Jackson, he's tackled by number 44, Yurdy. And one thing Ball's been able to do is a couple of times pin Jackson not deep in their own territory, but make them go the length of the field to get a touchdown. As their only touchdown came on a short field and they took over from midfield. So change of possession. Jacksonville takes over. About a minute left, a little less than a minute before the half ends. Trails Baldwin 9-8.
Looks like it is halftime.
I take that back. It is halftime. So we'll take it to the Mr. Chevy's halftime report. We'll come back in just a moment. You're listening to live Baldwin Sports broadcast brought to you by Burkins Chevrolet with me, Dylan Denmark, and Devin Runnels on the call. Welcome back to the Mr. Chubby's Halftime Report. Make sure you get all the games from Mr. Chubby's Wings at the 3 locations on the west side in Ponte Vedra Beach, their newest location, or in Fleming Island with burgers, wings, sandwiches, and a whole lot more. Right now, I'm going to give you the RPI rankings that stand right now. Baldwin Bowl stays up top at the number 1 seed. Doesn't look like anybody's going to catch them, so they'll probably lock in at the number 1. South Walton is 2. Baldwin stays at 3. So after Baldwin falls to Episcopal last week in the final play of the game, Baldwin falls to 3-1. Their winning percentage, their WP, you can see, is no longer 1,000, or at least it shouldn't be. But their opponent's winning percentage and the opponent's winning percentage went up, so that helped a little bit. But right now, if the playoffs were to end today, Baldwin would play Andrew Jackson, and playing at home versus on the road and 4A Region 1 is huge because, if you're going to have to travel, it's probably going to have to be 3-4 hours possibly, and that's where home field advantage really plays a huge factor in the playoffs. But so far in the first half, Baldwin leads Jackson 9-8. But for Baldwin so far, the best player offensively has been Jihad Miller. He caught the big pass that went about 40 yards. That set up the Baldwin field goal. That set up a Baldwin lead 3-0. And then the ensuing kickoff, Aiden O'Neill had a perfect onside kick that Baldwin went about 20 yards down the field and turned it over on downs. And then a little later in the first quarter, Jackson scores a touchdown, making it 8-3. Then a little later, not long after that, Jihad Miller caught the 3-yard slant. He was wide open to make it 9-3. O'Neill misses the extra point wide right. That's now how we've got Baldwin 9, Andrew Jackson 8. Offensively, Baldwin's been able to run the ball a little bit, but Andrew Jackson is a team that plays sound football with great coaching. A team that doesn't miss their blocks, a lot like what Baldwin saw last week in Episcopal. And Devin, I throw it to you offensively, in the first half overall, Baldwin leads 9-8, a big game, and for any first impressions so far from Baldwin and Andrew Jackson?
So first off, Baldwin's offense is already looking way better than it did last week. Just driving down the field, and it seems like Baldwin, when they get momentum, it seems like there's nothing that can stop them. But as soon as they get a sack or as soon as they get a tackle for loss, it's like all the drain and energy out of the offense just goes away. And it's just a big momentum thing. When Baldwin has the momentum, they're good, but when they don't, then they're really stagnant and they can't really do anything. Jalen Hitchens, who's been the quarterback all the drives but one, he's done fairly well. He's put balls in nice spots. He's ran well, but then there's been some throws that he's as soon as the play snapped, he knows who he's going to throw it to before even looking at him. And so the quarterback play has been a lot better than last week, but offense overall needs to do better as a whole.
And some of that factor has to do with Hagan McQuaid not being able to play last week. He's back in. He's plays the interior pretty much any guard position or at center if needed. Usually doesn't play center, but right now looks like Baldwin is wearing thin at the tackles. Huntley is in. Nothing's wrong with him at right tackle, but looks like Barrington won't be able to come back in as he has his shoulder pads off and has some wrap around his shoulder. And then Rodley Jean came off flipping. I don't know if he will come back in. I don't think he came undressed. So a weakness for Baldwin that usually is the offensive line position gets a little thinner. And it doesn't get any better as if you can see, so I can pull up the schedule coming up for Baldwin. It's a physical Bradford team at home, then on the road to Paxton, and then Baldwin ends their last two against Wolfson on a Thursday night, and the regular season finale against Baker County. Baker County lost by a single point to Mandarin, an 8A school, and a game that's always good. And if I could guess, as soon as tickets go available, you're probably going to want to snag one because they won't be available for that long for Baldwin and Baker County. But Baldwin, it was a crazy start. Ed White was canceled from COVID. Second week was already a bye, and you end the season 8 weeks, 8 games, and already have a safety, Malik Brown, in a cast. He should get an MRI soon. No diagnosis yet from his injury. That's Baldwin's safety and one of their slot receivers. And then McQuaid was out last week. He came back after he was sick. Barrington's out, one of Baldwin's offensive linemen. And, it's just, it's just football. You plug and play. So we'll see how Baldwin finishes. Although they are 3-1 right now, they're top of the 4A standings right now at a 3 seed. And Baldwin needs to keep that top 4 seed to get one home playoff game. It looks like the old NFL playoffs. Top 6 make the playoffs. 1 and 2 seed get the bye. 3 and 4 host. 5 and 6. Baldwin's hosted 2 playoff games in the history of their school. Lost both games, one to Taylor County and one to Trinity Christian last year. And hoping to get a little bit of different results come playoffs this time, as we say it every year. But for Baldwin, the year for Baldwin to get the playoff win would be this year. A lot of young puppies on this Baldwin roster, really young, and usually young teams are junior-led. This team is more freshman and sophomore-led. But right now, Baldwin leads Andrew Jackson 9-8. It is a 4A matchup. Baldwin is the 3 seed right now, and Jackson is the 6. If the two teams were to end the season today, they would match up with Baldwin hosting Jackson in the first round, as the scoreboard is not working, so I can't give you how much time is left at halftime, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings. But Jackson still in the locker room, and Baldwin's in the end zone. Defense for Baldwin has played well, as they have all season long. Jahad Miller's got the only 2 big plays, the touchdown and the big pickup that led to an Aiden O'Neill field goal. That was 25 yards inside the 10-yard line. And Baldwin leads Jackson 9-8. I'm going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll have you ready for the second half.
Guys, in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Bryceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work. Whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value, at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really, really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579.
Maybe they're preparing for the new building. A little too early, but.
Well, we're about to start the second half. Baldwin leads Andrew Jackson 9-8. Baldwin will get the ball. Well, they'll receive. Baldwin will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Baldwin leads 9-8 with one touchdown and a field goal. Jackson gets a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the first half.
Third quarter. Still 9-8 Indians.
Baldwin's in the white uniforms. Jackson is in the red. As we get the whistle from the white hats. I'm Dylan Denmark alongside our cameraman and calling color commentary, Devin Runnels. Holler at me. What? Something like that. And it's a squib kick. Tez picks it up, tries to run it. Gets to midfield and will take a nice baseball head first slide at the Jackson 48. So right around their best field position for Baldwin to start the second half with a 1-point lead. First half, Baldwin was able to run the ball a little bit. They've had one big play with Jihad Miller that set up the field goal, and the touchdown was set up by a couple of runs, a 15-yard penalty from Jackson on a late hit. And let's see what Coach Scott and Jalen Hitchens has set up for the second half. Hitchens in the gun. 1st and 10. He keeps it. Left side. Gets around the tackle. They like try to get around Grant, his slot receiver, but wasn't able to. And he gets to 2nd and 8 at the 45. Receivers on the field, number 6, Jihad Miller. Number 4, DeJuan Malpris. Number 20, King Grant. Eric Buggus, the tight end, and Vonnie Harvin, your tailback. Hitchens. Middle. Caught by Malpris. Snags one, makes one man, now 2 men miss. Down the sideline. Needed 7 yards, got 9. And that'll move the chains for an Indian first down.
Malpris is about 6'3", and he needed every inch of it to get that ball right there. The ball was thrown a little high, but he was able to come down with it.
And he's got a couple of nice snags tonight, especially after dropping a couple of balls last week, redeeming himself from a week ago. 1st and 10, Hitchens. Long throw, caught by the receiver on the far side, wrapped up by 2 defensive backs. Now it's DeJuan Malpris again. Back-to-back catches. That time was a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Like you said, far throw. That was a really far throw. It was probably about a throw of 30 yards, but only for a gain of 4 or 5.
Hitchens in the gun. Left half, 2nd and 6. Hitchens. Once Buggus falls to his knees, and it's right on top of the first down marker. And no official word from the referee, but the chains are moving. So give Baldwin another first down. 2 first downs to start the second half after taking over from midfield. Baldwin got the ball to start the second half with a 1-point lead, 9-8 over Jackson. Hitchens lofts one, end zone, intercepted at the goal line, and they're going to try to run it out. Jackson gets tackled. It's Fred Gaines, number 5, the skill player who plays both ways. I think he caught the ball just shy of the goal line, so he had to take it out. And he brought it all the way out to the 20-21 yard line. That puts a damper on things. He had a good drive going, but put a little too much air under it, and results in interception.
It was a beautiful drive, and I'm not sure who the receiver was, but he was open in the corner of the end zone. He had separation, but it was just way underthrown.
So about 9 minutes left in the second quarter. I say about because if you're just joining us, the scoreboard's not working, so there's no time. And Cortez Martinez makes the excellent tackle, sets the edge, nowhere to go for the Jackson running back. Jackson, a gain of 1.
Second, 9 yards.
Second and 9. Jackson ball. And the whistle blows. And it's an offsides penalty. I believe that's the third offsides for Baldwin's defense. As Emery comes out, I'm assuming he was the one that jumped offsides. It's usually the indication as I wasn't fully paying attention on the field. It'll be 2nd and 5. Saunier. Quick hitch. Far side. Looked like the receiver dropped it, but Velvet was right there to make the tackle. And it's a big 3rd and 5 coming up for Jackson's offense.
It was great defense by Donald Velvet, the corner, not the corner. The receiver caught the ball, and he hit him at the perfect time and was able to knock the ball away. It was a great job. Leaves it 3rd down and 5.
About 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Saunier for Jackson. Gives to his tailback. Jackson gets the carry, tackled by Harvin and a couple other Indians for Baldwin. And the referee will signal a first down, so Jackson gets the first down. Gaines will be a running back for Jackson. Two receivers. Quarterback keeper. Tackle in the backfield. Ball is loose. And the white hat says he's down. I think it was Yurdy who made the play. But it was close. He spun right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It was a great job by Baldwin's defense. You know, it was a read option by the quarterback. Usually he reads one of the defensive linemen. Not sure if it was just a misread or a really great play by Baldwin.
2nd and 10. Tries to, throws to no man's land. That's the second time that's happened for Jackson. The first time looked like it was supposed to be a comeback. That time looked like it was supposed to be a back shoulder, but the receiver kind of turned in instead of fading to the sideline. Francis was the receiver. This happens sometimes. Quarterback and receiver not on the same page. Third and 10. Try to connect on the curl. Another miscommunication again. Looked like the Saunier, the quarterback, wanted him to go 8. He went 10 to the sticks. And it'll be 4th and 10. So Jackson, first drive out of halftime, not what they wanted, a 3 and out. After Baldwin drives down the field and throws an interception at the goal line. Baldwin got the ball to start the second half with a 9-8 lead. Sam Brooks will return. He got a touchdown last week that ran the punt back 55 yards. As Baldwin has brought all 10 men to block it. Looks like they're going to do it here again. No, they don't. They fade. Bit of a bad snap. It's a high punt. Ball rolls, and Baldwin takes over at their 28-yard line. I'd like to think he sees the dude at the top right. That would be B.J. Ruiz with Farm Bureau Insurance. You can get any kind of insurance. I don't know what you need. Maybe you need car, auto, life. Maybe you're a head coach and you didn't travel with a team last Thursday and you get some trouble at a bar. Maybe there's insurance for that. I don't know. But you can ask B.J. Ruiz at 904-655-4347. You can also get boat insurance. I know that. Any of your insurance needs, you can go to BJ Ruiz with Farm Bureau. Call or text them at 904-655-4347. Brooks in motion. Hitchens fires one to Malpress. Hits a slant on the 1st and 10. And he was open. Don't think there was safety up over top, and a little too much heat on that fastball.
Yeah, Malpress was open. He had the inside. He had the inside shoulder, and the ball was just led a little bit too far.
Your personnel, 4 receivers: Brooks, King, and Miller to the left. Malpress to the right. Hitchens, quarterback keeper, finds the corner, popped out of bounds, 7-8 yard pickup, and it'll set up 3rd and short. Clock continues to run, probably 7-8 minutes left, 3rd quarter. I don't know, no scoreboard. I'm just guessing here. But it is the 3rd quarter, and it's going to be 3rd and 4, actually.
Baldwin's been executing them outside quarterback runs really, really nicely. We'll see what they go here on 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, this game is definitely going by pretty quick with the clock being on the field. The Bose, the back in the backfield. Jackson comes on a blitz, left side, but Hitchens runs right, spins, gets the 1st down to the 45, runs forward, turns his legs, tackled a yard shy of midfield. Something you don't see from Hitchens, running the ball with some power there. And the chains move for a Baldwin 1st down.
Like Lamar Hitchens out there running the ball. It was a great 1st down pickup.
Four down linemen for Jackson. Hitchens pumps, loses the ball. The white hat rule is incomplete. Look like the old tuck rule is Hitchens pumped and it hit his left hand and then it went out. He fell on it anyway, but instead of losing 4, it'll be 2nd and 10.
Got to do a mean Mark Brunell pump. He had some effort behind that one to try to snatch it back.
That's one of those where you think you're having like, ooh, last second.
Thought he was about to fake out the cameraman like in the NFL. I was about to move the camera back like this.
Second and 10. Brooks in motion. DeBose is the Wildcat quarterback. Tries to get around the edge, gets a few yards. Clock will stop. I'll say 7 minutes left in the 3rd. 3rd and a long 7 coming up for Baldwin's offense in the white uniforms. And I think that's a water timeout on the field, so there's probably 6.5 minutes left, 6 to 6.5. Water timeout is usually about halfway through the quarter. I have to guess because there's no time on the scoreboard, so we're just freestyling up here. Baldwin leads 9-8. If you're just joining us, Baldwin, big plays all came from Jahad Miller. He set up the field goal from Aiden O'Neill on the 1st drive and got the 3-yard touchdown slant. As he made a bet with Coach Schaefer before the game. I was told that if Jahad Miller had 5 touchdowns just tonight, not throughout the season, that Coach Schaefer owes him lunch. And Coach Schaefer said, I'll give you lunch in there if you get 5 touchdowns. So Miller needs 4 more for Coach Schaefer to pay up. And it's 3rd and 7 for Baldwin. Hitchens once it, ball's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. And Baldwin will be forced to punt at midfield. Happened a couple of times last week against Episcopal. The ball was batted down at the line of scrimmage. And I don't know. I'm not a quarterback guru. I'm more of a defensive guy, but I don't know what a quarterback can do to really fix that other than, your arm angle. But, Jalen Hitchens isn't really, he's not small. He's not a Kyler Murray type quarterback.
I'm not a quarterback either, so I have no idea.
I was just saying if you knew something. DeBose punched this one. It's nice. Car to the 20. Out the middle. It's tackled by Octavius Barnes, the middle linebacker, running downfield. About 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Baldwin with a 9-8 lead over Jackson. Both teams in for a Region 1. Baldwin, as the standings hold right now, would host Andrew Jackson in the playoffs if it were to start today. And Baldwin and their next couple of opponents will finally be at home after playing most of their games on the road last couple of weeks. We'll play Bradford. Stonier's in the gun for Jackson. Speed option. Flips it. And he's pushed out of bounds by the Baldwin secondary on the right side. Nice pickup of 11. It'll be first down for Jackson.
It's the first time we've seen that all night. They've had a couple of quarterback runs, but that was the first time we've seen like a speed or like kind of like triple option.
First and 10. The give up the gut. Finds some room. Jackson. The running back is Jackson for Andrew Jackson. Gets past midfield on a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. Jackson goes right to left from our Burkins broadcast booth. Jackson again on the carry. Gets about 3 yards. Looks like it was Malcolm Harvin on the tackle. Big third and a long one for Jackson's offense. Speed option. Saunier needed one. Got 5. Late penalty. It's at the line of scrimmage thrown by the White Hats. And usually it's holding, and it is. Boy, that's been a couple of times now where Jackson has had a chunk play but been called back. Luckily in Baldwin's favor. So a 3rd and 1 will result in a 3rd and 11, which should be a first down.
That was a really big break by Baldwin. The speed option again was, or the double option, triple option, whatever you want to call it, was open again. And, Donald Velvet after the series is definitely going to have to try to figure something else to stop that because it's worked the 2 times they've ran it.
Saunier hasn't completed many passes tonight. It looks like he's been not on the same page with his receivers, completing 65% coming into tonight. There's plenty of time to throw. Throws right at the sticks. It's caught. Turns upfield. Needed 11 and got 13. What a great throw and catch. Right when I said he wasn't on the same page with his receivers. It was on the defensive back, Don Velvet. But that was a perfect throw and catch. Receiver extended his arms. Nothing Velvet could have done. And it's 1st and 10 for Jackson at the Baldwin's 40. Saunier calls an audible. He gives to Gaines. Slips a tackle from Malcolm Harvin and gets 6. And it looks like Jackson picking up some steam. Trails 9-8.
Baldwin had the momentum on their side on that 3rd down and 11, but it all went out the window.
Baldwin trying to change personnel up front. Saunier, it's almost intercepted by Velvet as he jumped the hitch. Makes a great play with a PBU, a pass breakup, and complete. 3rd and 5 for Jackson coming up.
Velvet read it like a book. That route worked on him 2 plays ago. It wasn't working on him that time. He was there at the perfect time to pass away.
Third and 5. Gives right behind his left guard. Tackled by Malcolm Harvin. Slings him down. And result in 4th and 4. And you would think Jackson's going to go for it here. They trail late in the 3rd, 9-8.
Yeah, there's that awkward where it's too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. We'll see what happens.
Jackson is the tailback. Gains out wide to the right. Speed option. Quarterback keeps it. Carter tackles him. It's on side with the first down marker. It's going to be close. Baldwin says it's their ball. Jackson says he got the first down. And it's a Jackson first down. And Coach Shields puts his palms up, as you can see. He probably wants a measure, but he doesn't get one. So mark it 1st and 10. Jackson ball at the Baldwin 30. About 3 minutes left in the third, roughly. It's on the air, has time, throws the hitch, right side, slips the tackle, tries to slip another one. Barnes was there, makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Velvet, the cornerback, was right there as soon as the receiver caught the ball, but wasn't able to make the initial tackle. But good thing the Indians swarmed and was able to get him down.
I thought it was a 3-yard pickup. It was actually 5, so it's 2nd and 5. Saunier finds a crease, runs right through Baldwin's defense. Jackson found a hole and burst through it. And Baldwin has a man down, Octavius Barnes, as he gets up on his own power. And Jackson has the ball at the 12. Trail 9-8. I think there was a timeout on the field.
Yeah, I think it was Baldwin who called the timeout.
I'd like to thank all the sponsors that help us put this broadcast together. Burkins, Chevrolet in McClenny, Florida. Cousin Willie Smokehouse. Papa John's Pizza. Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Mr. Chubby's Wings. And can't forget our Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, B.J. Ruiz. For any home, life, and auto insurance needs, go to B.J. Ruiz. It's late in the third quarter. I believe Baldwin called the timeout there on a 1st and 10 for Jackson at around the 13, 14-yard line. No score in the second half so far. Baldwin leads Jackson 9-8. Miller got the only touchdown. Jahad Miller for Baldwin on a 3-yard slant, and O'Neal got a field goal. And Jackson got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Sony gives to Jackson. Try to find the outside. He was tripped up by Eric Buggist. And McCray, the transfer, playing his first game tonight for Baldwin, having an immediate impact as a defensive end.
Baldwin's got to bend but not break. They've let Andrew Jackson get this far. They're going to have to stop him here.
2nd and 8. 2 receiver set. And pre-snap penalty usually means false start. Oh, no, it's offsides. I take that back. I spoke too soon. So a 2nd and 7.5 will make it 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2.
I'm really surprised it's called on Baldwin because usually they let the play go. So the offense kind of has a free play. They don't blow it dead, but I guess that's not what they're doing tonight.
So 2nd and a long 2 for Jackson. Trying to take the lead again. Sony gives to Gaines. Tries to carry the pile. Doesn't budge. About 4 white jerseys around Gaines to stop him. And it's 3rd and inches for Jackson. Late in the third quarter, time's not showing on the scoreboard. They're keeping time on the field. Can't be no more than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Baldwin leads Jackson 9-8. And it looks like now they'll
Third about a yard.
bring out the chain crew to measure it. But tonight, a lot's riding on this game. Both teams in 4A. It's not like the old high school district rankings where you play head-to-head and that determines your playoffs. It's determined by a point system. So the head-to-head only matters if there's a tiebreaker, which really won't happen, or the odds of it happening are slim to none. But Baldwin comes in as a 3 seed. Jackson is a 6, and the playoffs were to start today. Baldwin would host Jackson. As they roll it just short, so it will be 3rd and inches. As the lines at Jackson aren't painted, they're kind of faded, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the ball is. As I'm kind of squinting, like when you're trying to see someone's Instagram profile and their private, or Jameis Winston, the meme. I feel like an old man. I'm trying to read an iPhone. Ball's right around the 5-yard line, 3rd and inches. Sony gives up the gut. He probably got the first down. Needed an inch and got a couple feet. And it's 1st and goal.
Baldwin was real close to stopping him, but, they still have 4 chances to stop him here. Baldwin's only up by 1, so.
Big man Huntley comes in. Goal line defense. Sony gives behind the left guard. Nothing there. Baldwin comes up with the stonewall defense. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. As the whistle blows, not sure if that's the end of the 3rd quarter. I think it is. I didn't see a timeout. So they're keeping, as you can see, the left side of your screen. The scoreboard's not on. Keeping time on the field. And I think that's the end of the 3rd quarter, and it is.
Still 9-8.
As we start the 4th quarter, still your score, Baldwin 9, Andrew Jackson 8.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
And would also like to thank the guys over at Burkins Chevrolet. Right about now, Devin, I don't know if you know, they're rolling out the all-new 2022 whatever you want. And it could be a car, truck, SUV. Right now with dealerships, it's pretty hard to come by a vehicle, but I know they got them over at Burkins Chevrolet in the heart of McClenny, Florida, with Larry Burkins. Check out a vehicle for a free test drive, or bring in your car if you want to sell yours. Bring it in for a free evaluation over at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, Florida. But we got a ball game here. We start the 4th. Baldwin 9, Jackson 8. Jackson at 2nd and goal, inches away from the goal line. Sony under center, quarterback sneak, Bush push, and he's in. Touchdown, Jackson. They've ran that play a lot in the last couple of weeks at the goal line. It's been successful. It was successful again. And Jackson leads it now 14-9 over Baldwin. I say Bush push. Do you know what Bush push is?
I do not.
Oh, my gosh. They tried for the 2-point conversion again, and he's in. So Jackson with a huge 16-9 lead. And Jackson now leads by 7. So the Bush push, very controversial. You have to go back all the way back to 2005. It was USC with Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and all those guys, and they were playing Notre Dame, and it was a big game. And it gets late in the game, and it's just like this, a goal line situation. Matt Leinart, he goes face first, doesn't get it, spins, and tries to put the ball back behind his head to reach for the goal line, and Reggie Bush pushes him into the end zone. Should have been a penalty. They didn't call the penalty. That's why they call it the Bush push. And then USC went on to go undefeated and lost to Texas in that national title where they were beat by Vince Young. So there you go. That's your trivia for today. So keep that in the back of your mind in case you didn't know. Stat of the day.
I have something to tell my Uber passengers tonight while I'm driving them.
Man has no college. What's the word? Education. Thank you. Trying to break you in here. Anyway, Jackson gets a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, leads at 16-9. Squib kick, caught by Tez. He tries to roll right and is tackled out of bounds at his own 40. Baldwin trails 16-9. After the quarterback sneak from Sonny, Baldwin needs to put a drive together at the start of the fourth quarter. I don't know how much time is exactly left as they're keeping it on the field tonight. The scoreboard was messed up. It was showing a bunch of 88s and pretty much like your alarm clock going off, just going off and off. So they turned it off. Hitchens. Slant. Malpress catches it. Tries to turn up the left hash. Can't get anywhere. But nonetheless, Baldwin gets 4 yards.
Malpress has had such strong hands tonight. After last week, there were a lot of drop balls by Baldwin, but I don't think there's been one tonight.
2nd and 6. Harvin is the tailback. 4 receiver set. Hitchens trying to missile again. Looked like it was the same play. This time it was deflected again at the line of scrimmage. That's happened a couple of times tonight. And again, it's 3rd and 6. Not exactly what you want if you're Baldwin's offense and company. About 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 6. Baldwin trails 7. Linebacker creeps up, backs off. Hitchens over the middle. It's tipped, nearly intercepted. King Grant was the receiver down the right team. It was open for a split second. And Gus Scott is not happy. As usually on those plays, there's a window, and Hitchens just missed the window. And they'll have to punt again. DeBose is your punter. 4th and 6 for Baldwin. Boots one away. No one back to return. And Velvet gets it. Jackson will have the ball at their own 26. If you're just joining us, Baldwin led 9-8 at the half. No score through the third quarter, and Jackson got a touchdown on a quarterback sneak from their quarterback, Sonny, at the goal line. Jackson's had 2 touchdowns with 2 2-point conversions. Baldwin's had a touchdown, missed the extra point, and a field goal from Aiden O'Neal. Saunier hands off to Jackson. Boy, and Jackson is running the ball and getting what their average is about 5-6 yards in the second half.
That's all they got to do, really, is just run the ball, get 4 or 5 yards each play, and boom, eventually they'll run the clock out.
McCray and Carter are your ends. Sawney, same play, behind his left guard, able to get maybe a yard, tackled by Sam Brooks. And it's a first down.
That's a big first down.
Probably about 8 minutes left in the game. Time kept on the field. Sawney gives to Gaines again. Falls forward and gets 3 yards. 2nd and 7 for Jackson's offense. Malcolm Harvin in on the tackle.
This Baldwin defensive line is just getting no push in the other direction. Andrew Jackson's offensive line is really just bullying them, and that's how it's been this whole second half.
Ellsbury comes in to the interior. Another run. Finds a crease. The ball is loose. It's on the ground. It's picked up by Jackson. What a early Christmas present. Oh, my goodness. That ball was there, just slaying there. And the court, Saunier for Jackson was right place at the right time and moves the chains again for Jackson.
There was no one within that. There's no one near that ball, and then all of a sudden, the offensive player runs out of nowhere, the quarterback, and grabs it and gets a few more yards.
1st and 10. Sony for Jackson gives to Jackson as running back, gets 2, 2nd and 8, probably 6-7 minutes left in the game. Jackson leads 16-9. Second and 7. Linebacker fills the hole that time. Carter and Harvin on the tackle. Running back still gets 2. Jackson on the carry for Andrew Jackson. And Coach Velvet, I think he's telling his linebackers to fill the hole a little quicker because that one step is the difference between no gain or 2 yards. And a crucial 3rd and 6 for both teams. Baldwin trails 7 as time is not on Baldwin's side. Sawney, 3-step drop. He wants right side, incomplete. Malpress, who's usually not in coverage, was in coverage that time. Does a great job of making the play. And it's 4th and 6. Offense will stay on the field for Jackson.
I like the call here for Jackson. Try to put the nail away, try to put the nail into the coffin and run the clock out.
About 6 minutes left in the game. Tez looks like he's about to come, and Harvin, but they back off as the audible's called in. Jackson's taking their time, and they are forced to call a timeout, I think. They are, because it looked like it was about to be a delay of game. So they'll regroup. 4th and 6, or 5 rather, for Jackson's offense. And as Jackson leads Baldwin 16-9, about 6 minutes left in the game. Jackson has scored the only points in the second half after a quarterback sneak with Sony for Jackson. And Jackson's had 2 crucial 2-point conversions. Has made it 16-9. Baldwin missed their extra point. and got the field goal to start to open the game. Miller with the only touchdown tonight. All right, 4th and 5. Jackson ball. Baldwin needs a stop. About 5-6 minutes left in the game. Quarterback keeper. He's tackled. He is short. Baldwin will take over. Turnover on downs. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Great job by Baldwin's defense. I mean, Andrew Jackson was driving down the field doing whatever they wanted, and Baldwin finally, manned up and was able to stop him. Gives Baldwin the ball. Looks like Baldwin's doing a quarterback change. Ethan Krause looks like he's coming in, and there's a flag on the field now.
It's a sideline warning on Baldwin. Usually the first one's a warning. I haven't seen one yet, so the first one should be a warning, and then the second one's the penalty. But a huge stop from Baldwin's defense. They get the stop they need after Jackson scored on their last drive. So Krause comes in for the second time tonight. Miller and Brooks, the receivers to the left. Grant and Malpris to the right. Brooks in motion. Quarterback jet sweep. He's going to loft one. Right side. And it is caught, intercepted. Andrew Jackson. And try to get him on the go route to DeJuan Malpris, who's got most of the catches for Baldwin tonight. And after the defense makes a huge stand, they'll have to go right back on the field after the jet sweep pass.
I mean, I feel like that was a little unnecessary. I mean, Baldwin has plenty of enough time to drive down the field, especially with the new quarterback, to see how he does playing against Andrew Jackson. And that gives Andrew Jackson the ball back. Now they might be able just to run out the clock. You're not really sure how much time is left, but
yeah, there's about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, probably. I haven't seen a signal for a water timeout. But Jackson's been able to run the ball well. They were able to start the drive before they were stalled on a turnover on downs. Jackson ball at their 40. Gaines gets it. Mustards through the defense, tackled by Mason Carter and Cortez Martinez at Jackson's 45. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5 coming up. Second and a long 5. Tez comes on the blitz. Runs right past him. Jackson offensive line powers through Baldwin's D-line. And it'll be a first down, gain of 10. Looks like the running back almost bursted for 6.
yeah, I mean, it just looked like the hole opened up. Didn't look like there was any push by the Baldwin defensive line, and Baldwin subs in Hagan McQuaid as a 3 technique on the defensive line. Looks like a timeout is called by someone.
Timeout brought to you by Commercial Metals. We'd like to thank all the sport they have done for not only Baldwin football, but the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics. They were able to help Baldwin in a time of need, especially when Baldwin's not able to fundraise like they want to. As you can see, their logo and sponsor below Baldwin's scoreboard on the football field. Just like to give a huge thanks to Commercial Metals. But we have a ball game late in the game, probably about 3 to 4 minutes left. Time's kept on the field, so we can't tell exactly how much is left. But Jackson has scored the only touchdown in the second half. Baldwin led 9-8 at the half. It's a quarterback sneak from Sonny for Jackson, and after the interception would try to get Jackson on a jet sweep pass thrown from Sam Brooks to DeJuan Malpress was intercepted. Jackson has the ball. Gains, gets 2 or 3. Runs into a mosh pit. 2nd and 7.
Baldwin has to learn how to stop the run. It's just every run they get 4 or 5 yards.
2nd and 7 for Jackson. Sonny drops. Quick hits. Broken up. Incomplete. Great coverage from the defensive back over on the far side. I think it was Don Velvet.
Is the big 3rd down. Baldwin needs to stop them, or at least stop them from getting any gain, because I assume that they would go for it on 4th down if they get within 3 or 4 yards of the first.
It can be no more than 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. Time is kept on the field on this 3rd and 5 for Jackson. Clock is stopped after the incompletion. Saunier drops. Heaves one deep. Incomplete. Tez and Malcolm Harvin on the coverage. So it's a 4th and 6. Most importantly, the clock will stop. It's 4th and 6 for Jackson. Boy, they got a decision to make. Do they want to go for it, get the first down, and put a game away? Or do you want to put Baldwin deep in their own territory on a punt? And it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Wow, this is shocking. I was really expecting them to punt it and try to pin Baldwin deep to make them go the full length of the field, but guess not.
Try a hard count. Coach is calling audible. Sonny drops, flushes out, faces pressure. He is popped by Cortez Martinez, but slips through him, and he gets a yard as it was a muddle huddle. So the defense again comes up with another huge stop. So after Jackson takes the lead, 16-9, Baldwin comes up with 2 turnovers on downs in Baldwin territory, right around the 35-yard line. And this is probably Baldwin's last hope as they trail 16-9.
Yeah, you got to imagine it's their last hope. Looks like Baldwin's bringing Ethan Krause back out at quarterback, and I mean, we'll see what Coach Gus Scott, the offensive coordinator, has up his sleeve.
Harvin's the tailback. Miller and Malpress left. Ball's at the right hash. Krause in the gun. 4-man rush. Krause drops. Finds a slant. Caught by Miller. Tries to get to the sideline. And he does. He says the clock will run. And it looks like Jackson has a player. He gets up on his power. Found the open hole in the zone coverage. Miller on the receiving end, and it's a first down for Baldwin.
That was great awareness by Jahad Miller. He started running right towards the sideline to try to get the clock stopped, knowing Baldwin doesn't have much time left.
There can be no more than 2 minutes left in the game as the time is kept on the field. Baldwin trails 7. Krause in the gun. Gives up the gut. Pass midfield to the 45. Turns his legs. Carries a couple red jerseys before he's pushed back. A 6-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 4 for Baldwin's offense.
I'm not sure how much time is left. I don't know if they should be hurrying up, or I'm not sure. But, Baldwin's a really nice play on first down. Leaves it a 2nd down and about 4.
Scoreboard's not working, but the score is Jackson 16, Baldwin 9. Harvin finds some room again. Needed 4, got 6, moved the chains. Another Baldwin first down.
They keep moving. They have the momentum right now. They're driving down the field.
Baldwin ball. Jackson 40. 1st and 10. Clock runs. Don't know how much time is left exactly, but not much left. Harvin in motion. Krause wants to flat, overthrows off the fingertips of DeJuan Malpris. It was a slant flat, try to get right in the zone coverage of Jackson. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I think even if Malpris would have caught that ball, it only would have been a gain of like 2, and then the clock would have kept running. So I don't want to say it's a good thing that it was an incomplete pass, but it definitely doesn't hurt.
Baldwin goes right to left from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. 2nd and 10. Late in the game, clock left. Clock kept on the field. Baldwin needs a touchdown to stay alive. Empty backfield. Krause communicates with his wingback Harvin. Krause fires a slant, caught by Malpris at the 30, spins, gets to the 25, turns his legs to the 20. He carries 4 red jerseys inside the Baldwin red zone, and Baldwin's in business. Trail by 7.
What a beautiful pass. That was perfectly timed. Great catch by Malpris, and he drugged 4 defenders. That was a grown man run.
1st and 10. Tempo offense. Spread formation. Harvin is your tailback. Another slant. Almost intercepted. Well, like that ball had a little too much air in it for Krause as Miller was on the slant. It's usually a ball you want to fire, and you'll see some steam coming up the ball. Ball's incomplete. Clock will stop. Got to be late in the game. No more than 2 minutes left. The time is kept on the field. The ball missed. They missed the exchange between Krause and Harvin, and that's a huge loss. What could have been a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 is now 3rd and 15. And a huge momentum killer for Baldwin's offense.
Just like you said, huge momentum killer, and Baldwin had all the momentum on their side, and you know it's all the way down right now.
Let's go, Baldwin!
3rd and 15. Ball needs to get the ball to the 6-yard line and get a first down. It's at the 21. The Bows lined out right, and Coach Shields is going to talk it over for a timeout. So, again, if you're just joining us, Baldwin led 9-8 at the half. And Jackson went down the field, got a quarterback sneak, but Baldwin's defense has played outstanding on the last 2 drives. Jackson went down the field, got into Baldwin territory around the 30, 35-yard line, and both times came up with a 4th down stop, giving Baldwin a chance. And scoreboard's not working. So the time is kept on the field. Don't know how much time is left, but it is not much time. Can't be no more than 2 or 3 minutes left. So it's kind of hard to tell if Baldwin wants to, if they need to hurry up or not. So we just hope we can hear a ref tell Coach Shields how much time is left. But we haven't only heard it once throughout the game. But it's 3rd and 15. Baldwin needs to get in the end zone to stay alive in this game. Harvin in motion. Krause wants to seam. Right side. Incomplete. Miller wanted the penalty. It falls incomplete. And it'll be 4th and long. And desperation time. You're just going to have to go for the end zone right here.
That was one of those plays where you didn't need to get the first down. You didn't need all the yards. You just needed to get close enough to it where you could have multiple plays to choose from, because you only have a few plays drew up for 4th and 15. You have a lot more choices, you know, for like 4th and 5, 4th and 4. You have a lot more of the playbook, but you really skip on plays in this part of the field.
4th and 15, game on the line for Baldwin. Jackson leads Baldwin 16-7. 16-9. Trips right. Linebacker comes on a blitz. He backs off. 4-man rush. Krause, right seam. It's caught. Did he have enough for a first down? Excellent catch by DeJuan Malpress. It's a 1st and goal. He needed 15 and got 17. Baldwin ball inside the 5 and needs a touchdown. Clock runs.
Oh, my days. That was intense.
Harvin's the tailback. Krause gives to Harvin, and he's wrapped up. Ellsbury missed his block and went right up the middle. So I'm assuming Baldwin has a little bit of time as they're taking their time again. Time is kept on the field. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Second and goal.
it's 2nd and goal. Ball's at the 5-yard line.
Defense working on the big stop.
DeBose in motion. Krause fires one, slant incomplete.
Pass intended for
That
number
was John Miller. And it'll be 3rd and goal.
Huge plays from Baldwin right here. I mean, man, I'm lost for words. I'm so surprised we got that 4th down.
Krause has played the entire drive. Hasn't played most of the game. Jalen Hitchens has played most of the game. The senior quarterback trying to lead Baldwin backside at 16. Krause, motion man again to Bose. Fires one, caught in the end zone. Is he in? He's in. Touchdown. King Grant, and we're an extra point away from being tied up at 16 apiece.
My goodness, what a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. It's all up to the extra point now. Oh,
I don't think I've ever seen a team. Well, let's make this extra point first. As we're late in the game, don't know how much time is left. But again, another Baldwin game goes down to the wire. Kick is up, and it's no good. It's wide right. And O'Neal misses his 2nd field goal of the night, but another game for Baldwin goes all the way down to the wire. I don't know how much time is left. Can't be much time left. As the time is kept on the field. And it's Jackson 16, Baldwin 15. And you would expect Baldwin to get an onside kick and hope to recover. Baldwin got one in the first half after they got a field goal. Can be much time left on the clock. A 1-point game. Baldwin trails 1, and they're going to call a timeout and talk things over. So time is kept on the field. Baldwin trails 1 after O'Neal missed his 2nd extra point. After Baldwin and Ethan Krause came in relief. Had a great drive, a 4th and 15 at the 23-yard line. Connected with DeJuan Malpress on a diving catch. King Grant makes the touchdown. Jahad Miller got the first one to start the game. And it comes down to this onside kick. And I think Jackson calls another timeout as the coaches are on the field, making sure all of their their receiving team is set. As the receiving team stays on the field and they're just moving a couple of guys. But Jackson's trying to do something that they haven't done since 2014. That's beat Baldwin. Baldwin's had the better of Jackson the last couple of years. And that was I believe that was a 2-point game that Jackson won back in 2014. And Jackson's trying to stay with a winning record at 3-3. This would make them 4-3 with a victory today. And Baldwin started 3-0, lost their first game last week to Episcopal. Onside. Ball's up. He's popped, but does a great job of hanging on to it. And it'll be Jackson ball. With the Jackson win tonight, they will match their season total from a year ago at 4 wins. Coach Foy has done an excellent job at Andrew Jackson so far in his second season. He took over a program that was 3-9, hadn't made the playoffs since 2010. Everyone made the playoffs last year, but they made the first playoffs for the first time since 2010 with a 4-4 record. And it looks like Sony for Jackson is going to take a knee. And that's exactly what he does. So Andrew Jackson moves on to a 4-3 record. Baldwin will likely move to a 3-2 record. And Baldwin ends 3 of their last 4 games at home. Then we'll host Bradford County. Game will be at 6:30 back in B-Town. Second to 14, Sony takes another knee. Again, if you're just joining us, time is kept on the field, so we don't know how much time is left exactly. But anytime that happens, that'll usually do it. Coach Shields takes his headset and puts it away. Baldwin comes up. Every game for Baldwin so far has came down to the final minute. And they lose a heartbreaker on the final play of the game with no time left against Episcopal, and they lose another heartbreaker tonight against Jackson, 16-15, as Sony takes another knee. As Coach Shields and company go to midfield, and that'll do it. Baldwin loses to Jackson 16-15. And that'll do it. Baldwin goes to 3-2. Andrew Jackson goes to 4-3. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that helped us put this together. Burkins Chevrolet, Cousin Willie Smokehouse, Baba Sean's Pizza, Mr. Chubby's Wings, Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters, Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing, and our Farm Bureau insurance agent, B.J. Ruiz. Catch us next week, next Friday night. Baldwin is back home against Bradford County, which should be a good one. Kickoff is at 6:30. We'll start our broadcast at around 6:20. For me, Dylan Denmark, my cameraman and color commentator, Devin Runnels. Thanks for joining us. And if you missed any of the game, it is always archived on this YouTube channel on The Mark with Denmark. Folks, have a good weekend, and so long, everybody.